boys and girls, and welcome back to another English class. We are in the year 2021. We are going to work together 1 year more. So now we are in 6th grade. You are bigger than last year. So in this year, we're going to work with the book Link It 1B. And let's start with unit number 5. In classes, I already explained you why we are using unit number 5 instead of unit number 1. So I hope that kind of doubt it's clear to you. So what is the name of this unit? I get up at 6 o'clock. One more time, I get up at 6 o'clock. Remember that always we're going to use characters for the story of the book. And here we have Jacob, we have Lola, and we have Ruby. So let's begin. I think that this unit is going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy, a piece of cake. Okay, let's continue. Let's begin with vocabulary, okay? Can we talk about things that we do during the day? Can we talk about it? I think that we can do it. So let's begin and let's talk about what are the things that we normally do in a normal day, okay? So the first thing that you do during the day is that you get up, okay? That is the first phrase, get up. Remember that I told you the difference between I wake up and I get up. Remember that I wake up is first and then you get up. When you get up, then you take a shower, okay? When you are ready with the shower, when you take the shower, you get dressed. You get dressed. And then you have breakfast. When you finish your breakfast, of course, that you start school. You start school. And during the day, you're going to do a lot of homework, you're going to do a lot of activities, and then you have lunch. It's very important that, okay? And when you have lunch, then you finish school. And when you finish school, of course, that you go or get home, okay? You get home. When you are already in your home, maybe you have some homework to do, so you do your homework. You do your homework. And after you do your homework, probably you can have dinner. And when you finish your dinner, remember, have dinner, you can watch TV. Watch TV. And finally, you go to bed. One more time. Get up, take a shower, get dressed, have breakfast, start school, have lunch, finish school, get home, do your homework, have dinner, watch TV, and go to bed. And there you have all the words related to daily routines. If you have questions or if you have doubts, remember that you can write me in Google Classroom. And I am going to, of course, answer all those doubts or questions that you probably could have. Let's continue. And here we have another photograph about Jacob, Lola, and Ruby. And here it says, Jacob, I get up at 6 o'clock. I have breakfast and then I practice some dance moves. Remember that Jacob is a dancer, so it's very funny, the story. Here, and the ladies, of course, here's Lola is telling him that he's crazy. He says, you are crazy, Jacob, because you do a lot of things during the day. Here we have some phrases that we learned in the vocabulary. Get up, have breakfast, I practice. Let's learn simple present affirmative. Let's talk about a little bit of that. Pay attention to this part because it's very, very important and probably could be difficult if you don't pay attention. So, present simple affirmative. We're going to focus on what is the use of a present simple. So we used to talk about daily routines, facts and permanent situations, timetables, habits, and things that happen often. I put an example to each category, and now let's work with the examples. For daily routines, I have the example, I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. That is a daily routine. What it means, facts and permanent situations. They work in Los Angeles, and 2, he lives in Canada. What about timetables? The English class starts at 10 o'clock. And what about habits and things that happen often? She plays tennis every weekend and they watch TV every night. Try to be calm, because now I am going to explain how you can form a sentence using a present simple tense. So let's continue with another presentation, and watch out, warning, this is very, very important. In the third person singular, when the verb ends in a vowel plus y, we're going to add an s. I am going to put in practice this rule. Let's see the example. Yes, I know it. Here you have some examples. Play, plays. As you can see here we have a vowel, letter A, and we have letter Y. So the word ends in a vowel and Y. So for that reason, the only thing that we're going to do is add an S. Probably you are asking to yourself, what is a third person singular? The third person singular is this: he, she, and it. So in present simple or simple present, we are going to add an S. As you can see here, we're going to add an S to the verb that is in the third person singular, that is he, she, and it. Here in the screen, you can see that we have I, you, work, we, you, they, work. So the only modification that we're going to do is here in he, she, and it. We're going to add an S to the verb. We use the base form of the verb plus es when the verb ends in ch, s, sh, x, z, or o. Let's see some examples. I go to school every day. She goes to school every day. Pay attention to this example. Here I use the word go without a modification, but here I have she. So remember, he, she, it, you're going to use an et at the end of the verb. But in this verb ends in o, and I have it here. So when I have a verb that ends in o, you're going to add es. For that reason, the sentence is she goes to school every day. Then we have he has breakfast, and Lisa studies French at school. Lisa studies French at school. You must know that in some cases, when we have a Y at the end of the word, we're going to change that Y for an IES, okay? As you can see here, studies. Let's continue with the next presentation. Okay, go team! Good morning. Let's talk about a little bit of prepositions of time, and pay attention to the photo. And says, I get up at 6 o'clock. So now we are going to focus on these kind of words. At. Last year, you learned prepositions of place. Remember that. You learned how to use a in, on, under, between. But now we are not going to focus on prepositions of place. We are going to focus on prepositions of time. Here we have it. This is very important. Here we have prepositions of time. We're going to use only 3: on, in, at. For example, on Tuesdays. So for that, we're going to use on for days. Then we have on July 14th. So we're going to talk about dates. Then we have on the weekend or on the weekends. And finally, on Christmas Day. So remember that you're going to use on for days, for dates, on the weekend or on weekends, and finally on Christmas. That is a very special celebration of the year. Then we're going to use the word in, and you have in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, in January for months, and in winter, seasons of the year. You can say in January, in March, in April, in December, or you can tell us that you are in summer, or actually we are in fall or in autumn, okay? And finally, we have the preposition at, and this preposition we're going to use it for telling the time at 4:30 p.m. or at 8 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, at 8:50. And finally, with the word night, at night. We are not going to use in night, okay? And here we have a warning, a check it out box. Always you're going to use this check it out box. And we use at with the word night. I read at night, okay? So remember, you're not going to use in the morning, you're going to tell me in the morning, in afternoon, in evening, but for no reason in night. You're going to tell me at night. Here we have some examples. Number 1, I eat pizza on Fridays. 2, in the evenings, I watch TV. And finally, number 3, I get up at 7 a.m. Let's continue with the other slide here. Okay, don't be panicked. This is the last content. This is the last effort that you're going to do. And let's talk about a little bit of adverbs of frequency. Let's pay attention here to the photo. And here we have Jacob that is dance a little bit, and he is with his teacher and says, where are the boys? Jacob is always at dance practice, and I am underlining the word always. So, adverbs of frequency, we're going to use it to express how many times we're going to do something. And here you have a table. We have the words always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. And you have percentage, okay? So you're going to use always, it means 100%, usually 800%, often 60%, sometimes 50%, rarely 20%, and finally never, it's a 0%, okay? I am going to give you very quickly the translation for each word in Spanish. We have always, siempre, usually, generalmente, often, a menudo, sometimes, a veces, rarely, rara vez, and never, nunca. Watch out and pay attention to this part. In English, we don't use the double negative. We use never in affirmative sentences. Let's pay attention to the example. I never watch TV. Not for no reason. I don't never watch TV. Here in don't and never you have a double negative. In English, that thing cannot happen. Okay, so you're going to use only the word never. I never watch TV. Remember that adverbs of frequency go after the verb to be, and the adverbs of frequency go before all other the verbs. Let's see the examples. I always visit my grandparents on Sunday. I sometimes go to the movies on the weekend. He is never at home, and they are often late. And that is the thing that I am going to explain a little bit, because you have to pay attention that when you have a verb to be, the adverb of frequency goes after the verb to be. As you can see here, he is never at home. And in this other sentence, you don't have a verb to be, so you're going to put it after the subject. So, I always visit my grandparents on Sundays. Okay, boys and girls, I hope that you understand everything, and remember that if you have doubts, write me. I am going to answer all your doubts and questions. Thank you very, very, very much to see my video, and see you in the next video that is from the next unit. Take care. Bye bye.